this goes. There's always just a little bit of a hiccup between the interactive pre-stream uh, thing I have going. Stuff falling off my bookcase. Um, my little pre-screen interactive thingy game. Whatchamacallit. So I'm just gonna sit back and wait for folks to tell me that I'm up. Am I up? Maybe. I'm just pouring myself some coffee, getting ready for the stream. Uh, cool. Looks like folks are confirming that I am up. So that's great. So things are working and I can proceed. So let me see. Look at my cheat sheet. Yeah, let's get this going. So hi, I'm Joshua. Today is January 29th, 2017. Today I'm working, as always, on my video game Delver. You can see the website for it behind me. You can find it at delvergame.com. Delver is a procedural dungeon crawler with fantasy, roguelike, and RPG elements. Also a little bit of first-person shooter elements thrown in there for good measure. Um, and today, well, actually, before I launch into what I'm working on today, let's go ahead and look at some of the progress that we have made over the past week. So let me go ahead and close that. Bring up a console window. Let me slide it over here so folks can actually see what's going on. Okay, cool. So let's go to our repositories. GitHub, Delver. Am I on? Give a status to make sure I'm on latest. Yep. So let's see what's happened this last week. So I'm just going to do a git log, which just gives us a summary of the changes. I do a one line, I do a relative, I guess, since a week ago, so we can get just last week's changes and then some pre-printing. So let's do that. Cool, and chat has been crazy busy. So again, this is just looks like this is probably related to some of the mod work we've been doing, making sure that um, things are behaving correctly. Fixing pick rate checks, not sure what that's all about. Fixing text mouse overbounds, new method for mouse overbounds. So it looks like he's doing some UI work, cleaning that up. Right click no longer always attacks. We're not bound to do that, so that's good. I believe some folks had let us know that that was an issue, and we have fixed that, which is cool. Let me see. It looks like my dashboard says everything's okay, so I must assume that things are okay. Let me see. Yeah, so it looks like we're fixing. So with the changes I'm making in my localization work, what I ended up having to do is because a lot of languages require characters with accents, and how the Unicode standard defines them as separate characters. Instead, we used to have an 8 by 8 pixel font, and now we have an 8 by 12 pixel font just to allow a little bit more wiggle room for all the accents. So this is just kind of cleaning up that. Um, I think we had hard coded the character spacing, and now I think we just read the property on the font object. Um, cool. Cleaning up the save slot screen, adding the wins, which is kind of cool. Let me see. Merge branch of features libgdx upgrade. Okay, so we are moving to a newer version of libgdx, which is really really cool for us. Um, I think as a result, we are dropping our OpenGL 1 support. So now we require OpenGL 2. I believe we have also updated that in Steam, so uh, we should let you know if your machine will work with it or not. This is something I pulled in. Basically, it's with some of the mod work I've been doing here on stream. This just allows you that in your mod, if you define custom entities, they will show up in the editor like you expect them to. Um, more UI work. Looks like more merging of features from libgx upgrade into develop. Uh, Small tweaks to the start level. I think that was just a result of the upgrade. We had to change some really small things. Are kind of silly, just work around stuff. If it impacts you folks in your mods, I will certainly let you know. Um, so fix selects or the select save menu ignoring some clicks, compile errors and delve edit. Yeah, so this is just basically whenever you take an upgrade of one of your dependencies, you're you're very likely to have issues, and this is just us working through that. And let me see. Quite a debug logging in Steam Editor API. Upping item default. So it looks like Chad did up the item default durability, which is cool. Let me see. Actually, let's take a look at that. Yeah, it looks like he pushed it from um, 15 to 25, which means that a weapon will break now after 50 hits instead of 30, which is almost twice as good. Which again the durability system was added late last update, so we haven't had a lot of time to work with it and tweak it and make it good. And I really appreciate all the folks who are giving us good feedback. Um, I believe I was just chatting with Guy there in chat right now, and he was just giving suggestions. One of the problems is that it's kind of a mystery how durability works, and we need to figure out how to better communicate this the current state of a weapon for the player. Mm. And these, I think, are some bugs that Chad fixed that were bothering me. So sometimes when you have a prefab with static mesh and it wasn't rendered properly, so that's been fixed. I guess he's basically, when Chad watches my streams, he sees things that are broken and he fixes them, which is kind of cool. So control points that are flickering strangely, so he fixed that. Just a small quality of life thing. I also noticed there's some weird issues when running a multi-monitor setup. So this is after the upgrade. These were really wonky, so we fixed that. And then Chad's playing around with having the notes kind of be a little bit more what he calls RPGE. I'll demo that here in a second. I think that's mostly it. Let me check. Let me look at language. I can't remember if I've been working out of this branch or if we're working out of a different one. Let me copy my little cheat. Yeah, again, I'm pushing my way through uh, getting all of these darn um, uh, the loc work. So here actually I have actually created an issue on GitHub to track my progress because that's good to do. So I kind of broke this out into tasks. So ensure that Unity supports UTF-8. That's done. Added more characters to developer shipping font. So basically out of the box we support I think 264 some odd characters, which is cool. It's not the entirety of Unicode, but I think that's a good start for most language or for many romantic languages. And then the kind of the I guess the grunt work of this feature is just going through all of our code and pushing all the hard-coded strings uh, into string resources. So these are the ones I've done. So rather than just kind of doing it ad hoc, I actually went through and found and created a list of all the ones that actually need fixing. And it looks like I'm maybe a third of the way through. I'll probably do a little bit of that to start, and then I'll switch over to working on my sci-fi level mod. Um, I'll probably do 3 hours today, so noon to 3 o'clock my time. So I think that's kind of where the language stuff is. Yeah, I also have I guess I have a separate branch for my example mods, and there are quite a few. There's quite a few, I guess, changes in here that I actually haven't committed yet, which having stage changes isn't great. I should at least commit them locally or push them out. Ideally push them out to my repo so you folks can see it. I don't know, I'm kind of holding off until it gets to a point where it's actually useful to folks. Okay, so let's actually play a little bit of Delver and I'll talk about some of the changes. Let me actually real quick just flip back over to develop. Okay, I didn't mean to close that. I think it's going to, yeah, since I switched branches, it's going to kick off a Gradle build. Make sure I don't have any issues. And let's launch Delver. Hey, Chris. Thanks for joining chat. There we go, the old splash screen. I think we may have changed a little bit of the proportions of the save slots. I'm not quite sure. We're just doing small tweaks here and there. So for those of you who are new, this is Delver. This is a fresh start. So you start off in, this is the starting area. There's a campfire. This serves as a shop. This guy tells stories. This is a tutorial if you care about it. So Chad said he's been working on how the notes are displayed. So if we read this, we get a nice little, I guess, a more traditional RPG kind of text scroll, crawl, whatever you want to call it, with a little arrow to prompt you to click. I think the issue is this doesn't change. So at the end of a note, it doesn't let you know that you're done. We probably ought to have another UI element. This lets you know that you're done reading the note. But I will go ahead and put that back on the table. There we go. I'll steal Joff's candle, put it in my left hand so I have a little bit of extra light, and we'll play a little bit. There shouldn't be a lot of real big changes in the game itself. Mostly we're working on Steam Workshop support, and for me, language support, on also building example mods. So the stock version of Delver, we'll see. It will get like bug fixes and stability, improvements this update, but mostly it's going to be about mods and modders. 5 to 7, that's not bad. Good. Okay. Let's see. Zombie. All right. More speed. Why not? There we go. Oh. Oh, okay. So I think purple is a healing potion. Steak. I think there's usually an item back here too. Arrows. Needed that. Get out of here. Let's see what's this way. Oh crap. Probably my dad. Nope. Okay. Ooh. Do I want the light or do I want the extra armor? Okay, I think I need to switch to my bow because this dagger's not cutting it. Literally. Let's see. And yeah, it's worn now. So this should be the increased durability, so it goes from 15 to 25. So it should last quite a bit longer. We're going to find iron daggers. Let me swap that out real quick. pitch that one. The dead end. Where am I going? I guess I'm backtracking a little bit. I think I'll stop playing as soon as I hit level end. Just so I can get to work. But it is good to actually play and test my game a little bit. Find skull cap. I don't think you don't start off with a skull cap, so that's nice. Sneaky, sneaky. Okay. Yep. So I need to go the other direction out of the start then. Not good. Oh, broke. Oh, no. Oh, I guess I'm out of... And I've stepped on the spikes. That's not great. Cover my arrow. Out of those, but I think I have one arrow left. There we go. Yeah, one arrow was enough, apparently. I don't have two arrows. Oh, and a fire wand. Let's make some mayhem. So I feel like I don't have much time on this level left.
Over here.
Yes. Well, that's excellent. So I might as well swap that out. There we go. It's dead end that way. Oop. This is also a dead end, it looks like. Nope. Ah. I got a couple shots left, see if I can get him. Her. Whomever. Ooh, that is a fine iron short sword of storm, which is pretty nice. Dark. I've been meaning to play around with maybe adding a some colored fog to the levels that don't have it, just to give it a little bit more atmosphere. But finding one that is a good color has been kind of tricky. 67. So lucky dagger. Excellent iron dagger. Not quite sure what makes the lucky dagger lucky. Maybe you're lucky you found it. I'm trying to trip this without actually. I think this needs tweaking because I don't think I can actually. I might be able to toss it like that. This is super awkward though. Maybe we need to play around with how far you can throw it with the Q key. There we go. Oh, it's a dead end too. Great. Well, I'm glad I didn't take damage trying to do that. Wow, this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Again, the fun of PCG, you never know what it's going to deal to you. Oh, that is way better. Let's equip that sucker. Keep the candle just in case. Cool. So that was one of the possible first levels in Delver, because it is procedural. It can be anything, but yep, that gets us to the next level down. So time for loc work. Let me try a couple things, or let me try a couple things here. So I know Chad created a new branch where he rebased his changes for libgdx on top of the new. Okay, yeah. So let's see the history. Thinking. Let me. Okay, so. Okay, so I think I can update from develop. View conflicts. Crap. Okay, so not that easy. So let me just do a git reset. This just resets the state of our repo to before when I tried that merge. That didn't work. Okay, so let's see if this even builds. So Gradle should recognize we change branches and do its thing. That's cool. So let me just take a peek. It should be in assets data. We should have the strings.dat. Yep. This is the translation. Oh yeah, I forgot, and I left the Spanish stats in here. So let me fix that real quick. Attack, speed, health, magic, agility, defense. Save that, and let me. Commit. Sync. Cool. This should be good. And okay. Uh-oh, did I lose some? I might have lost some work with. Yeah. Let me. Take a look at this one. See the history of this one. Yeah, so they're actually out of sync. This is a kind of a pain. Let me see. So it looks like this branch. What was the last change that I had made? It was adding support for level overlay, and it looks like this one. History. So just those. So I can actually just probably. I think in way there's a way in Git to like collect cherry pick, but I think I can just kind of do this again by hand real quick maybe, or let's see. Yeah, so that's a lot of changes. Let me just kind of temporarily grab some of this stuff. It's not the easiest way to do it. I'm just not super confident that I can um, pull in one commit from a different branch. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I don't want to waste your folks' time for me trying to figure out stuff. Um, so let me grab this. It looks like the message overlay was the new. So here all the way up to message overlay. There we go. Let's copy that. Let's paste that. And it looks like also just message overlay, pause overlay, and shop overlay. I can just probably copy those files. I don't know. Well, I think Chad has been tweaking the message overlay. Let me, this might be a little bit trickier to do. Yeah, so let me switch back to, I think, this one. And then let me, this should go right here. Okay. Clean up the formatting a little bit, save that. And I need to, let me just pull up, just a, let's look at a diff of what I was working on. It's the remaining overlays. Let's just pull that here, snap it there. And looks like I just changed 2 lines in message overlay, so let me find the appropriate lines here. Hide that real quick. Looks like 1 to 5, thereabouts. So yeah, this next needs to be this. I don't even know if next is used anymore. That might be deprecated. And then close. Yeah. Okay. And then I think pause overlay. So this is for quit. And this is for paused. And then we need to go resolve our import. Oh, yeah, there's a namespace game, and then the class game. There we go. Sweet. Okay. And I think the shop is the last one. Yeah, merge conflicts can be a wrinkle to work through. It is just a fact of life when you are working with more than one person When you're working with multiple people out of a single repo, you're just going to have these things happen. Okay. Let's see. This next one is it'll be all gold. Yeah, you're gold. Yeah, working with Unity scenes is tough. I mean, scenes in general are kind of a hard thing to even conceptually merge at times. Um, I'm sure clever folks can do it. So yep, there's the done button that needs to be looped, and then the buy button, or the buy text actually. That's what line is that? 228. There we go. Right there. Cool. Yeah, so fingers crossed that was everything that needed to be pulled over from that commit. Let's give it a whirl. So real quickly, let's just do some. Let's give it a shot, and then let's test the stuff that we actually changed. Oh man. Yep. I quit. Yeah, that's one of the issues that's fixed in develop but is not fixed in this particular branch. Yeah. So there's some weird things going on. This is fixed, but you have to just bear with me in my broken little translation branch. So pause. That seems to be okay. Go to a shop menu. Again, forgive the offset. That's been fixed, but it looks like these texts are okay, and the message. Yeah, that's fine, even though I think that's been deprecated. So let's go ahead and just commit what we have. This is just heading string resources for main overlays. Sync. All right, and then let's try to get this finished off. Actually, let me pull up that issue again, and we'll just work off that list because that's a good way to do it. So I need to look at, I guess, bow.java. And if anybody knows the shortcut key in IntelliJ to jump to a class definition, that would be cool. Otherwise, I just have to kind of dig my way through the hierarchy. Okay, so what we're looking for is strings that are hard-coded that get surfaced to the user. So like this item type, I don't think it matters. Like I'm not sure what let me see, Control B. So the string name. So that does need to. So names do get surfaced to um, the player. So that needs to be pushed into a resource. So let me go ahead and just pop this over here. And let's hide this, so a little bit more room to work. Not shop overlay, non-weapon, bow. And I think this is doing the same thing, just two different constructors. So let's find where we're at. Okay, so this is item. Yeah, just trying. I'm trying to have the key somewhat mimic the namespace, but not entirely. So this will just call this items.bow.default name. And these localization entries have three properties in the JSON. The first one is the class property, and this is just a helper for the serializer we use. It helps give a good hint as to what type of object this is. It's a localized string. And localized strings have a localized name, and they have a comment. The comment is actually not used in game. It is for the translator. And I put little comments in here to tell the translator, like, this is used on this menu and this is what it does, just to give them a little heads up and hopefully a little bit more context when they're doing that stuff. And then here, this needs to be game.lookstrings, and I'll probably I have a better. I'm going to change how this works internally, but it shouldn't impact the game at all. It'll just be a little bit easier on our end to maintain. So game.lookstrings.get. Right now it's just a static hash map on the game object, which the game object already owns enough. So maybe we're pushing to its own string manager class. So game.lookstrings.get, and then .lookName, and then we need to pass in the key. So items.bow.default name. Cool. Let's just copy this because this constructor also needs it. Cool. And then here's kind of a no-no as far as like localization is concerned. Is when you have when you're constructing strings like this, where you have string plus, you know, because this makes it really hard for translators to work with. So you have to do some messaging formatting. Hey Guy, yeah, thanks for stopping by. Have a good time. Also, if folks are new to my channel, please feel free to ask questions. This is me working on my game, but it's also a good place to talk about game development and programming and art and whatever is on your mind. So feel free to let me know. Okay. Also, I'm trying on Twitch here. I turned on. I guess there's a setting now that in order to be able to talk and chat, you have to follow. And I turned that on just to kind of reduce the amount of kind of noise we get in chat. Not that it's a lot, but I figure just a small amount of time. I put like a 5-minute timer on there. Hopefully folks aren't averse to that, but if you have strong feelings either way, please let me know. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to construct this string in a better way. So it grabs the damage type to string, and then if it's physical, we replace physical with just that. Otherwise, it should be, yeah, either magic, fire, ice, lightning, poison, etc. So it's going to be one of those. So this is the range. So this will be the min plus max plus the type. So 1, 2, 3 damage or ice or fire or magic, whatever, okay? If the elemental damage is greater than 0, we also, so we pinned a new line here. Um, that's probably okay. Um, and, and then we pin another new line. Um, yeah, I think the new lines are okay. Again, if English is not, so if you are um, a native speaker in other languages, please let me know if something like this seems odd, because I think it's okay to format stuff like this. I think I just need to clean up this thing here. So this really should look something like, um, so the ultimate thing would be something like 1, 2, 3 DMG, but this really ought to be look like this. Okay. Cool. The Boliosa's new line should be okay. Yeah, I think separating out information like that's probably okay. I don't know why a different language would want to not have that separation. Um, so this is probably, I think it's a is this a it's an int. Yeah. And then so string info to text equals message format. And that's the string. And then the args are DMG, DMG plus RDMG, and then DMG type dot to lower case. So what this should do is this should actually just give us parity. This should be the exact same thing. Um, also, really quick, are we? For the types, I don't know if we're actually, yeah, so we have that. So level up overlay magic. This is the, yeah, I should probably also let me modify my list to include damage type. Okay, so let's edit this. And let's add weapon.java damage type. Okay. Cool. So let's go back to bow. Okay. Okay. Real quick, let's just do it since I'm thinking about it. Let's just pop context real quick. Let's go to strings. Let's go to where we were working. And I'm just going to, right here, just grab all these. Let's make a new tab. Let's go to 2 columns. Let's just pull it over there. Let's paste that. Okay, let's grab all the commas, do a new carriage return, delete the leading space. Yeah, let's select all the lines individually. Let's add a leading and trailing quote. Let me just copy one of these as an example. I need 8 of those. Let me just do that, that, that. Also, like, turn off word wrap. Gross. View word wrap. Okay, so we need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that should be right. I'll just fix the tab for the time being so they're all the same. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Control-Shift-L, select these individually. I'm going to copy them. I'm going to select all instances of class, go down to loc name, and then replace all of those. And then I actually need to go and then replace all the keys. And then this should be something like weapon, where's the, what's the namespace-ish? Items.weapon.damage type. So items.weapon.damage type .magic. That should be what I need. So let me just copy that and go back into IntelliJ. And here, let's do that. Okay, let's fix this tabbing. That's cool. What we ought to do also is, what we're doing here is we're grabbing this damage type to string, and what we really ought to do is ask for the correct string from weapon maybe. Hawaii Beaches, I'm late, adding multiple language support. Yeah, so I'm still working on the localization effort, which right now I'm refactoring some code to make the whole damage type stuff work better. So I could do something just like, this is a public static string, I would say damage type to string. And this is a damage type, call it D type. And this should just do something like return game.localizeStrings.get.locName. And this is, so yeah, we need to do, what I want is this. Plus D type dot to string dot to uppercase. So that should correctly look up the so given a damage type, it should return a localized version of the type. Okay, so that should be good. So back here, instead of doing, actually we should probably look up, let's audit the code base real quick for all places we look at, we do that. I'm really surprised it only does it. Wow, okay, so here damage type, instead we'll just say weapon dot damage type to string and this dot damage type. Cool. Enchantment.damage type. So all things that have a damage type, I need to, whenever we're doing this damage type to string, got to be careful. So enchantment has thought it should have a property damage type up here. It's calling enchantment dot damage type. So item mod has that. Okay. Um, I'm still sure this is pulled off of weapon. Pretty sure. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So here, this needs to be. We need to say weapon dot damage type string for that. Okay. Get item text. So damage type. This should just be weapon dot get or damage type to string. This dot damage type. Cool. And then same thing here. Weapon dot damage type to string enchantment dot damage type. Okay. Looks like all the instances where we were using toString on damage type, so that should make that play a little bit more nicely. It looks like in both cases we also changed physical to DMG. Now let me see. Folks are talking about stuff. So Nino9612 says, "I'll check out your game and see it looks very nice." Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Hawaii Beach says, "Why is there strings.dat? You should name the file after the language it is." So it's called strings.dat. Well, because it was temporary, I needed something to make it work. But also the idea is that modders will override this with a language of their choice. So what will happen is we provide the English strings.dat, and then if you want to provide a Spanish strings.dat, you just provide a strings.dat with a Spanish translations. We'll load the English translations first, and then we'll replace all of the strings that you've provided in the Spanish translation on top of the English ones. So we're not going to let you, like, you can't switch languages on the fly. You'd have to subscribe to it in the workshop and it would pull it down. The problem is we can't anticipate what people will name the files. So there's no way to make the mechanism easy. Yep, we use Java. Nina's asking it. Again, yeah. So this is the en-us. There's PTBR. I understand the conventions. It's just that this is just a simpler system. Yeah, the DAT extension is not as well. The DAT extension is standard within Delver, and that's what I'm trying to stay consistent with. Um, Again, if you have strong feelings on translations or localization, please feel free to contact me. You can email me at joshua.skelton@gmail.com. I've done it professionally both at Lexmark and Microsoft. I'm just trying to find a good solution that it gets the most bang for our buck. Like I don't want to. I've spent already a couple of weeks on this, and I'm trying to get this wrapped up. Our time is pretty limited. We're two people working on this project in our free time, so we have to be pretty. Um, we have to pick and choose how we do things. Um, so that should work. If we never show physical, that's weird. Um, uh, ba, 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 ba. Let me see. So the thing is we're not going to officially support these. These will be through the Steam Workshop. So we're kind of relying on the community to police the translations. I know a few other games have done this and have had good success with it. Um, So hopefully, we have our community is really really great. You folks are very smart, and you know, we can't anticipate what languages you want it in, so that's why we're kind of leaving it up to you. And also, like, we just don't have, the funds, right? Like, we both do this in our free time. Uh, I mean, there are several folks who are interested in translating into their native language, which I'm really excited to. We never had any intention to do any sort of language support, so this is something that I've been really pushing for, and that's why I'm the art guy for the project, and that's why I'm writing code, is because I think it's very important. Okay, so that should fix that. I don't know why. Do we always change this to DMG? If that's the case, ba, 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 ba. Should this be physical or should this just be DMG? I don't know. Let me audit all the cases of this. Or actually, it should be damage type dot to string, which I think I removed all of these instances. Yeah. So I'm pretty comfortable for the. It just seems weird to translate this. I'll change this to DMG, and that makes this easier because I can just, for the time being, comment that out. And then same thing here. Okay, still working on bow. And this does elemental damage plus, let's get elemental damage. What does this return? Get elemental damage. Return damage mod. Which is just a value. So similarly here, we'll do something like that too, where instead of doing that, we'll do another message format. So message format string, and then get elemental damage and this. Hawaii Beach says you should implement a system where you can select locales that you can install in the workshop. For example, a new folder named Lang, where the locales get installed and you select in game. Um, Again, that's maybe, I don't know. Like, I'll put a question to you. So the folks who don't, for the folks who speak multiple languages, would you actually switch languages like mid game? Because otherwise, like my proposition is just going out to the workshop and just adding the language pack you would want, and just I feel like whenever I've switched languages, it's just been like a one-time thing, right? Like you do it at the front, and then um, you just kind of are done after that. Let me see. I'm just not sure about the workshop side of things is all. Dr. Epics, is there a way you can look at all the source code? No. So right now, Delver is not an open source project. So message format, and this needs to be something like where 0, 1, where that's the amount, and that is the type. Selecting language using Steam. I'm not quite sure what you're suggesting, Hawaii Beach. Is there some API that Steam exposes that you know of? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if folks just look at the actual system locale. Yeah. Again, I'm not. Um, again, because I have not handled the Steamworks integration on this project. Mostly because again, like I'm trying. So I am by trade a engineer, but I on this project am the art guy. Okay, so that's cool. That should be okay. And then range plus range. So again, similarly here, message format, and then range plus range. So this really needs to be comma this dot range, and then we need a something like that. And we probably want to keep the new line. And then, yeah, similarly. Okay. And then for text plus that, and then that needs to be looked. So let me just make sure this runs, and then I will um, okay, so like again, because we're not doing an official translation, I don't want to put a lot of effort into it or a lot of time into that. I'd rather let it be modded in if folks want it. I know Hawaii Beach is actually pretty smart. I mean, from what they've posted on the forums, it looks like they do have some engineering background. I appreciate the support you've been giving folks there. I don't mean to knock on anybody. I'm just trying to, um, again, I'm just trying to do the cheapest, best solution I can. You know, I need a bow. Okay, this is. It looked a little weird. 1 to 3 damage, 4 two-handed. So did I goof some? Obviously, I goofed something up. If get elemental damage greater than 0. Yeah, let me step through this and see what I've done. Yeah, I appreciate your folks' understanding. Like, again, we had no intention to actually add any sort of localization support, and um, I'm glad that uh, I'm glad that we're a small team and that when I get something that I'm passionate about, I can just jump on it and fix it, right? Like that's what happened the last update with archery. I saw the archery. I knew the archery was bad, so last update I took time to make it good, and this time I'm taking some time to actually you know, uh, make our language support as good as I can for just a couple weeks worth of work. So ranged, 2, composite bow. And here we go. Okay, so yep, yep. So the damage type is okay, physical. That's correct. So message format. So the input text now should say something like 4 to 8 damage, which is correct. Let me step over elemental damage. Nope. Oh, that's what I goofed up here. So that's actually the range. Okay, so I messed up this here. Why didn't you guys catch me? That should be range right there. Cool. Let me run that and verify that is actually what it was. Hey, keep it simple, folks. Like We all have we all have experience, we all have views, and you know, I appreciate folks speaking up and talking about things. Um, yep. So I think both of you are bringing up valid points. Cool. Yes. So composite bow, 4 to 8 damage, range 4, two-handed. That looks correct. So let's push all these out into a resource now. Cool. Thanks, folks. Yeah, I really appreciate it when I do have. I like having a mix of folks. Like I like having people um, who are knowledgeable on computer science and development issues, and people who are new. And I'm glad that we have a good mix of those folks. And yeah, Hawaii Beach, you're 100% right. Like um, when our UI really ought to ask you like, hey, you're about to delete a save. Are you sure? We should do that. I don't know why we haven't. Um, that is not. I don't know. I guess we just haven't had that discussion yet. It should be something. So maybe if Chad is watching, it will become something. Okay, so all right, items that weapon. So let's just go ahead and start right. Yeah, items that boat at default name. So I need a new loc resource, and this is going to be items.bow dot. Uh, this will be damage range. I need to copy this, then paste it in here. So yeah, this is why the comment is super helpful, because otherwise, looking at this screen, you'd have no idea what's going on. Okay, so 0 is the minimum damage. 1 is the maximum damage. 2 is the damage type. And this needs to be game.loc strings.get localize name, damage range. Cool. And then I need to create a new one of these. And this needs to be elemental damage. And the elemental damage looks like that. Okay. And is the amount of damage. 1 is the type. It's the damage type. Okay. And then this is game.localizeStrings.get name, and then this right here. Cool. And this is range. Text. I think these all. I've been putting text on most of this stuff, so let me just add that real quick. Text and text, and then there should be range text into the elemental text. Yeah, here I'm using range in 2 different meanings here, which is me see. Okay. This should be range like that. 0 is the length of the range in world units. And this needs, let's copy this. Okay, and that needs to be o dot range text. And then this two-handed actually, I think it, I thought it was also on some other things as well. Oh yeah, okay, yep. So we do use it in multiple places. So I might just make that live on the weapon, because I don't. Do I need it unique for the bow or for um, the bow or for? No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't think I do. So. So I'm going to do something like. Why is this one? This one is all like in a weird spot. There we go. And then I'll just call this. Yeah, I've seen you've added a mod there, Hawaii Beach. It's interesting. So this needs to be items.weapon.two-handed text. This just needs to be two-handed. Text shown on item information if it is two-handed. Okay. Then here, this can just be game.localize screens.get localize name, and this is just that, and then I can also put that or on weapon. Cool. Should be good. All right. I think that might be it for bow. Let me just take a quick peek. I think generally the info text is where we're going to see the most most text actually being shown to the user. I just want to just do a quick sanity check. I think that's it. Let me just make sure that I didn't wreck that, and we'll keep on going. Race. Let me see. So Hawaii Beach says, with the Steam Workshop update, will you also implement DRM? So I mean, I don't know what Chad's plans are, but personally, like, I understand the pros and cons of DRM. Um, but I mean, for us right now, we're focused on making the best game that we possibly can. Um, and DRM just takes a lot of, to me, DRM is a lot of effort, and people will bypass it anyways. So right now, it's not a big priority. Um, let's see, this looks like, so 1 to 3 damage, range 4, two-handed. That's cool. Let me spawn a two-handed weapon, so melee. I mean, okay, that's cool. Let me spawn Gilded Hammer. Cool. Yeah, that's still good. Um, uh, Chris says, "Isn't Steam DRM? Um, in what way?" So it looks like that is good. So that's the bow done. So let me go look at what's next on my list. I'm not gonna check these off until I actually do a commit. Button model. I think I just um, so let me see. I am Wibbly says, any plans for VR? No, we don't have any plans for VR. I think it would be cool, but I also worry. Um, I hear that 2D sprites in VR is kind of weird. Um, da, 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 da. So button. Oh man, there has to be a faster way to do this. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So navigate class. There we go. Yeah. So Control N. And then I want button model. There we go. Sweet. And then I think it just has some frob text on it. Is what I think. Oh, yep, the use text. Then show message use text plus use verb. Okay, yeah, so here we're constructing a string. This is in the tick. Okay. So this is the use verb here. So all you need to locate there, and I also need to locate there. Okay. Okay. Can do. And this is triggers.button model. So I'll try to keep this organized a little bit. So this is triggers dot button model dot use verb text, and that is use. Okay, cool. And then I just need something like nope. his name, and then there we go. And then it's also, I'm not sure why we special case mobile. That would probably be something that Chad would know better than myself. Okay, and then again, we're this whole this constructing thing is what we have to be careful about. Um, so here, use text equals. Oh yeah, so I see what we're doing here. So it looks like in the case of mobile, we don't have a key binding, right? We just show the use prompt, which just shows when the player looks at a button. And this is, I believe it's mobile device only. I would really like to work on a VR project someday, but I don't know if Delbert is the right one. I think the best VR projects are the ones that are built and designed for VR. I think when people try to kind of finagle their existing project into VR, it has mixed results. Um, so this is, yep, and then this needs to be right here. This needs to look more like message format.format. And then it needs to look something like this. And comma use text, comma this dot use verb. Okay. Hawaii Beaches game dot is mobile. Yeah, we have an old we have an Android build of Delver, which is available on the Play Store. The problem is, I guess I spoke on this multiple streams. I'll talk about it again. Is the problem is we initially launched Delver on the Play Store about 4 years ago, 3 4 years ago, and we were using a very early version of libgdx. Since then, we've upgraded libgdx several times, and we have moved to different versions of the underlying dependencies. So that includes, LWJGL, and I think the minimum shader version for the GL and the minimum GL version have changed. And we're in the situation where if we push a newer build out to the Play Store, we will break older versions of the game. I'm not sure, I don't know if we have metrics on how many people this will impact, and we're trying to figure out the best way to handle that. I mean, it might just ultimately be that we need to push out a new SKU, which is kind of gross. But I just, again, if somebody's giving me money for a product, I don't want to break it for them, where they can't use it anymore. So just trying to figure that one out. Okay, so that is the this is the text shown on a mobile device instead of a key binding. This needs to be this is in code it's called use text, so I guess that's okay. Comma's going to be golden here, so let me copy that and let me paste that, and then 0 is either the key binding or the use verb in case of mobile. One is, wait. I think I've goofed this. Let me look at what I've changed. It was use verb. So it would be use on mobile, which is odd. But okay. For the exact reason that I stated about supporting legacy installs. Okay, yeah, that's fine. This is use text. Zero is either the key binding. The U is the key binding. One is the use verb. Okay, so actually what we're seeing here is, this is actually different even though it's the same English word. So here this is the use verb, and then down here this is the it's actually different. So this is text shown to indicate the action that will be taken. Okay? And then this one is text shown on a mobile device instead of a key binding. And this needs to have a better name, so use mobile text. Okay, and then right here, use mobile text. That should be good. And then this use text here is, so 0 is the key binding. 1 is the use verb. Okay, so I think I got that straightened out. And then let's paste that there, and then this is just use text. I think that might be it. I think that's it. So let's test this out. I think I can launch this in Delve Edit. Oh goodness. Okay, so real quick, let me just see. And then if I slam a entity basic, where's button? Button, dual model, big old, trigger trap. Button model, there we go. And then if I go down here and hit select this, it says use, which is okay. Hit P, use. I think that's all right. I guess I could test it real quick by changing this. So the use verb, I'll change it to whole. And then create a level, Add an entity, basic button model, and then play. Pull. Cool. So it is pulling correctly. And you also like this is one of the things that you can override in your mod, like when you create these in the mod content. So potentially these are going to be hard to we'll localize the default verbiage, but if people add in something fancy there in a different language, we can't help that. So I think that's a good place. And yeah, I think that's all that for this class. Let me take a real quick break. I haven't eaten in a while, so I'm going to grab a bite, and I'll be back and say, I don't know, I could probably eat in how about 4 minutes. So let's see if I can do that. Time equals 29/2017 and 13. Is that right? Sweet, let's do it. All right. Woo! That was fun. So, bathroom break, drink break, and lunch, all in 4 and change minutes. Okay. All right. So this is about roughly the halfway point. So let's go ahead and let's just kind of shift gears and let's go back to this example mod I've been working on. So I think this is actually in a good spot. Um, Let me go ahead and just commit my changes so I don't lose them. So more string resource work, and then that's probably fine. Oh my goodness, what happened? Soda's bad for you. Sync. Oh my goodness. That's not good. Okay, that's good. Now we're gonna go over to my ah. Let's go over to my other repo that I've been working on. Sorry, this is awful. And let me just work out a latest as well. There's no reason to be working out of my language stuff, so let's just pop over to develop. And let's launch Delve Edit. No, I had something go down the wrong way in my throat, and like my voice is now ruined. So apologies. Oh, this is gonna be rough. Okay, so let me also check off. We got bow and button model done. Okay, so we can close that out and don't need that. That's a temp thing for my Twitch stuff. Let's pop open a couple of these suckers, and then example mods here, and then over here. Oh man, where's this at? GitHub, Delver, Engineer. Then create a mods directory, because this is the best way to actually create mod content. The old way was to create an assets directory and place content directly in there. But what that does is it doesn't actually get merged. It just replaces the assets, which was the old way of doing it. We still support it for legacy stuff, but the best way to do is to put it in mods in its own folder. So that way we can kind of more gracefully merge all the mod content together. And then if I launch Delve Edit and take a look at it, file open, mods, levels, boom, there we go. So there's this one. We've all seen this one. And I think I also began working on a added it to the generator. Yeah. So yeah. So my floor, I need to work on my floors and my ceilings because right now they are bumming me out. But it's something, right? Like it's a start. There we go. Got our test level. Spooky. Okay, so yeah, let's maybe I'll do some pixel art for a while and just kind of relax. Okay. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm so phlegmy or something. Let me. I don't like how this turned out, so let me just take care of these tiles. Bye-bye. Don't like how that's turning out. Maybe I should turn on my grid so I can do this a little bit better. Okay. And this was a cool thought, but it's just way too much of way too much of a good thing, I suppose. What I could do. Let me. I could bring up some of the repetition by adding like maybe a border to it. Maybe that will help. And I like this dark color, so let's start there. Let's just block it in real quick. Something like this. And something like that. Okay. And then okay. Chris was just about to compliment me on the new tiles that I just blew away. Thanks. No, they just in practice they weren't working like I wanted them to. So again, I try not to be too precious about them. Just get rid of them, make something else. The Loboyo says, "I wonder if you can make custom shaders when modding." Um, I, I, so we don't support custom shaders. You can certainly muck about with the shaders, but we don't support it in a. No, we don't. We don't merge them. Yeah. How is this gonna look? This is slightly different than the existing stuff. Um, we'll see. We'll play around, try to find something that doesn't make my skin crawl. And again, try not to spend too much time on it either. The highlight might be too much. Let me just save it and see how it goes. I think that's the actual texture example. Yeah, that was that one. So we copy it here. Oh, let's take a peek. um, let me see. Yeah, no. Like those are cool things to do. I think that's not really what Delver is shooting for. Da, 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 da. So I think that helps a little bit. It might be too much of a highlight, but I can play around with that. Um, okay, let's just do something like, okay, and then let's merge that down. Let's make a copy. Let's copy that over here. And then we're going to grab this here. Just move that up like that. And let's fix this stuff. Pardon me. And then this should be, I think on the inside here. I think that's about right. This needs to tile this way. Okay. Let me brighten this up a touch. Let me reduce all these crazy highlights I have going on here. Let me just dial those back a step. Okay. This needs to go here. I think it should look something like that. These corners probably need a little love. There we are. Okay, let's save that real quick and see what it looks like. So I think this would be the most useful case and example we got here. So what I'm trying to do is, yeah, there we go. So some of this goes around. I guess I've broken it up enough, but we could do stuff like then we can grab that. Then I can replace that with example. Oh, Joshua. Okay, so let's do this. Nope. I'll just open up the example, the test level, see how it works. Yeah, I was thinking, like for example, here, let me select all these pieces, and then I can slide them over there. Cool. Then I can grab a texture. Let me Grab the texture here and change the floor to that. Oh man. Okay, now it's, for some reason it's not honoring the texture or the texture sheet. So hopefully that's something Chad can look into why it's not honoring the atlas where this comes from, because it used to. This is going to be a real workflow killer if it doesn't. Then let's just flip all these so they make sense. Okay, and then let me slide those back. I think I can probably live okay with them being centered on that. There we go. File save. Let's see what it looks like in first person. I think the highlight might be too much. I think it looks all right. We got some weirdness there where they're not matching up. Oh yeah, sure. Interesting. Yep. So probably need to fix that. So that way's correct, but then neither way's correct there. I could flip this one though. Or can I? Can I? Wow. So I goofed up the texture on that one. So it's probably not going to flow great, so maybe I can do something to work around that. But I think adding the border here does help break it out a little bit, because when it was just the solid stripy pattern, that was too much. Yep, let me just close that out. Let me maybe try to give this some love. Let me see. R4D1A10N says new area. This is just an example mod. It is just it's a mod on how to create a new dungeon area, and so it accomplishes two things. This will be a free resource for folks who want to do this, and it also helps me go through the process myself and kind of identify things that need to be improved. Like right now, we don't have a nice way of merging together custom dungeon levels, and I would really like to be able to have folks do that. It would be really amazing if we all could smash our new levels together. So that will probably be something that comes out of this, but also, again, just something fun for folks to poke around with. No, I think the longest stream I've ever done before was 4 hours. You can look at my archive. Yeah, so if you look down below, I've updated my info or to one of the sides with a more direct link to my Delver stream archive. Yeah, most of my streams, Chris is right. Most of my streams are 2 hours. What if I make a new layer and then do something like this? And I'm trying to figure out a way to make this work a little bit better. And if I add some separation between the yellow pattern, it might work, might not. We'll see. Again, I'm all in favor of adding more contrast as well. So like dark, trying to add just some variation to the area. I think it would be helpful. Is going to be helpful. Maybe add a little, just a tiny little touch there. This may not be doing what I want it to do, but I'm willing to give it a try. Nope, all my streams are a minimum 1 hour, usually. Or minimum 2 hours, excuse me. If you look at my schedule again below, my schedule is 12 to 2. There have been some I've had to cut short for one reason or another. But if that happens, I do try to communicate what's going on. Yep. Yeah, Chris, a ceiling-like texture is probably a good idea. I was either thinking of, yeah, a texture would probably work better than a sprite. Let's, yeah, let's do that. Mods, example levels, test, load. I think my alt key's stuck again. Okay. Yeah, so maybe that helps. Break it up a little bit. Just with that faux grading there. Yeah, I think that's okay. And that way, even though they don't line up correctly, you don't notice it as much because they don't directly intersect. So yeah, I think that works out okay. Cool. That's good enough. Time to go on. Yep. So that's a fun little thing to play with. Cool. What else? Yeah, Chris suggested ceiling light textures. Yeah, let me just go ahead and pop up in our, we should have textures, example, sprites. We have one lone little light in here, but I probably want to steal the blue colors off of it. So they kind of match, kind of make sense. Okay. And it would probably be good to have like maybe just a metal tile. A metal tile that's kind of generic for both the ceiling and the floor. Hawaii Beach says, "Am I planning on buying a green screen?" The thought had not occurred to me. What would I use a green screen for? Or you mean on the stream? Interesting. So I want to create a generic metal panel um, that is It's not super boring, but it's not it's not too distracting either. Um, yeah, I mean, it would be cool. I just don't know how big of a value add it would be, to be honest. Um, did I goof one of those up now? Should be all right. Why is my office that disgusting? I I really do try to keep my office tidy. Yeah, maybe lighter paneling is kind of cool. I don't know. I'm not super inspired. Um, okay, goodness, goodness. Yeah, I guess I could add some depth to these. That'd probably be all right. Yeah, for the longest time, my office was super Spartan. All I had was just my desk in it. Um, Now it feels pretty lavish because I have a second desk and a chair and a bookcase. So I'm living pretty sweet right now, I guess. I don't know if they all need the. Hmm, hmm. Again, here I'm just playing around with textures, just trying to get some variety in here. Unfortunately, I'm drinking soda. I used to be really good about not drinking it, but Unfortunately, these days, I don't know. Now that I'm a father, I just feel like I'd never get sleep anymore. Um, so yeah, I drink way too much caffeine. Okay. I don't know if that pattern is cool or if it's too much. It might be too much. Let me step that back a little bit. I think the multi-directional thing just is kind of like freaking my eyes out. Do this. Just fix that up real quick. Let's just try. Generally, since the lighting on this tile is from the upper left, like making the other things disagree with that kind of was not smart. Okay, that's nice. Is it adding another direction to it too much? Yeah, that might be a bit much. Let me just back that off. Just leave it like that. Okay. Just having some generic sci-fi panels can be just generally useful. Uh, Nope, no alcohol. It's the middle of the afternoon, and I don't drink as much as I used to. Just on the fact that uh, I'm older and it hurts more. And Chris suggested a ceiling light, so let's grab this one and kind of copy that over there. Let's see if I can just real quick. That's probably it's probably pretty close to straight up white, isn't it? Okay, and then something like that. That. Okay, now that's just a whole lot of blah. Gross. Um, gross. How to make that look better? It could be a series of smaller lights. So this space is 24 by 24. It's 12 pixels there. So it'd be like, something like 10. Would that work? Maybe. Let's see. Let's pull that down a little bit and hue shift it and just kind of drop these in here. That's not quite what I had in mind. I can fix it. Let's pull the saturation down. Maybe we can hue shift it further. Yeah, that looks okay. That looks all right. I'm not gonna lose too much sleep over that. Okay, let's real quick just Eh. Hmm. Well, what if I did that? Okay, that looks super gross, but maybe having them at an angle is cool. Let's try that. Weird. Okay, let's duplicate this. Let's turn this into a smart layer. Let's just do some transforms. Yuck. So why is it not? Used to be able to constrain proportions somehow. I can just do it manually. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, it's super gross. So this is. Yeah, I'm not super digging it either. What is typically lights especially in sci-fi tend to be like fluoro lights, and they usually live in some sort of fixture. If I did something like this. Yeah, and then okay. Let's do, let's play around with adding some sort of something on this maybe. It's gonna look weird though if it has a reflection because it's a light source itself. I guess it'd be more there to imply shape than anything. How should we position this darn thing? How big is it? 10 high, so if I did 2 of them, it could kind of live like that. Okay, that's not super terrible. Not quite where I want it to be, but maybe. But this tile set really doesn't have a lot of dither, to be honest with you. This tile set's pretty simple, really. Again, I'm just trying to keep it pretty production quality pretty light. Just to make sure it just serves as a decent example. I think I've probably already spent too much time on it. I don't know. It's one of those things where like I feel like if it does help the community like understand and make better content, I think ultimately that um, I think that's worth it. But it's a very hard to measure thing. Fix my brush. Just do it the easy way. Boom. I always forget I made those. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I made some new textures. Um, let's just oh yeah, Chris is yeah an off version would probably be good too. Um, Also too with the Delver engine, you can set up like for example, if you could say ceiling textures with that tile automatically spawn a light, which might be helpful. Could certainly make you know level editing the level editor's life a little bit easier. Okay, so let's put some of this new stuff to work. So let's grab those textures and I think for all this stuff here, it has. Hmm, let's turn off paint adjacent so we don't make a big mess of the things. So if I just blast this down the middle, is that okay? Yeah. Okay, cool. So what I can do is maybe here I can play around with what the floor texture could look like. So I think these are all the same too. So I can do something like this. Yeah, I'm really bummed that for some reason the texture picker is broken. Again, more variety, which is nice. Um, let's see. Yeah, like here I could add, I mean, I already have lights there, but let me just throw one of our test lights on the ceiling, see what it looks like. Let me just do several of them. Yeah, that looks all right. I think it communicates what it is effectively, and you could probably even turn them too to make them line up that way if that makes more sense for your designs. And then you can add a right-click place entity, lights, ambient, and then turn L for the lighting preview, and then maybe make these pretty bright, make them kind of a bluey color but not too blue, and then kind of just slam these right underneath the here. That might be too much of a range because it's starting to kind of like it's starting to blow out a little bit, but oh well. Yeah, that's way too bright. Let's turn the range down to maybe 3. Yeah, that still might be too much. Who knows? Good, yeah. But yeah, I think it looks all right. um, Let me see what's it. So radioactive goo. Interesting. Let me see. Ned Voltage, I'm confused. Delver's got all futuristic. It's cool though. Yeah. So this is so for the next update for Delver, we are extending our mod support to the Steam Workshop. So I am creating some example content. So um, this is let me see. This will be available via GitHub as an example of how to build a custom dungeon area. Because dungeons there's actually quite a bit to them. You can define rooms and tiles. I also have meshes and prefabs. You have sprites and lights, and there's also like there's the ceiling painter, the floor painter, the wall painter. Um, all things that this probably should cover. I messed up. Okay, so these should go here. So this is not going to actually ship with Delver. It's just showing you how you might go about doing such a thing. And even to like it might even be cool to grab these, then maybe just push them up a little bit. Again, just adding some contrast. That breaks or messes up our triangulation a little bit there, but I can work around that. I could actually go the other direction too. I could pull these down just a little. I'm not sure if it makes sense for lights to be recessed either direction. Usually they're up and not down. So yeah, it also matches the texture a little bit better. I think it's these 3. Yep. Just push them up. And then we get the Z fighting. So what I need to do is grab that and just bump it up to there. And then I need to grab these and then just grab this edge and bump it up. Nope, wrong edge, Joshua. This edge. Right there. Cool. Sweet. And then I probably ought to copy over the lights, so it makes sense. And that's another thing too, is when I build my textures, I try to keep them on the grid. So either like, like 16, 8, 4, or 2, so that way I can, so these little happy accidents just happen where like I can use certain things like as trims or as, just like maybe in ways that originally I hadn't designed them to do, but because I stick to the grid, they just work. Sweet. Yeah, this is definitely looking way more fancy than it was. Certainly more bright. Um, yeah, so thank you for stopping by, Hawaii Beach. Thanks for your input. Thanks for chatting. Hopefully, I'll see you either next Sunday or on a bonus stream. Cool. Again, I'm also wondering if I should lower the light intensity on these, but I don't know. I don't know. I think they're looking okay. It's slowly coming together as a little set. Let me go ahead and just save this. And then before I forget, okay, more texture work. Chris also suggested a version of the lights that are out. Oh, because Chris likes making my life hard. Actually, it should not be that bad. Um, okay. See, it looks too much like metal. I mean, if I made it blue, would that read? Maybe something like that. Try to make those lights agree. That might work okay-ish. Um, so PurdyBot is asking, are there any um, write-ups on the Delver engine? No, there are not. And I goofed on how this tiles, looking at this right here. Actually, let me just get rid of this silly little highlight, so these are going to be kind of recessed. So let me just do this, do that. Similarly here, do that, and do that. And then just bridge these. I think that's what I had in mind anyways. Okay. And then up here, same thing. Again, I can just go to my dither brush and just make Photoshop do the work for me, except for oh well, it's not gonna work then. Oh well. Not too many. Yeah, no, Chris, I've fallen off that wagon pretty hard. I feel pretty bad about it too. I did it for maybe 7 days and then just I've fallen off so hard. I was trying to do something creative every day in 2017. I didn't last terribly long, which makes me kind of sad. Um, it ended up that I was spending anywhere between 1 to 4 hours on it, and I just couldn't keep up that level of uh, effort. Um, Like that's a lot of time out of my day that like I was basically not sleeping. And I don't know, like I really try to do something creative every day. But yeah, hopefully, like I keep meaning to do something, and maybe this is the motivation I need to get back into it. What about you, Chris? You've been pretty good about making mods and crazy stuff. Yeah, yeah, they look. I don't know. Like they kind of read not online, or they kind of read like they're off, but they still look pretty bright. I don't know. I mean, next to those, I can tell. Maybe if I did something like that, that might be enough difference to really push what I'm trying to sell there. Yeah. So yeah, no, Chris, that's an excellent suggestion. Like sometimes like doing art for art's sake is good. Well, it depends. Like some folks think it's a waste. I look at it as like practicing my craft and trying to become a better artist. Not only like being able to create better quality art, but also like learning to be more efficient. But it's also valuable to actually have a deliverable at the end also, which is what Chris is doing by creating mods because he's making the art for it as well. Oh, I didn't copy it over because I'm a dummy. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's like having a deliverable is nice. Um, I'm thinking for February, I'm going to try to do low poly. We'll see how long I can keep that up. I don't know if low poly is going to be faster or slower than pixel art. Delete that. Like, yeah, I think that reads okay. Whew. Okay. Thanks, Chris. I guess this does count as art. It does. Okay, let me grab that. Not the floor, change the ceiling. Yeah, I mean, it would be cool. Maybe. Well, this will work as a mock-up, but maybe. Excuse me. Oh goodness, something is tickling my nose. In the actual like random part of the part of the level, we can specify for the light tile that maybe there's a like a 10% chance that it's turned off, which would be kind of cool, just to add some nice variation to the level. That's something that Delbridge handles very well. Cool. So yeah, that's looking nice. Again, more variety. Um, I don't know. Maybe these things are more like emergency lights that just kind of always are on. Um, yeah, it is cool. So I haven't even used some of these. Like we have some additional. Uh, so I have additional floor textures, right? Like I have this thing. Oh man, is that super gross? Or is it better for a wall? It's fine. It's fine. Not loving it, not hating it. Well, maybe it works better on a wall. So select that, paint adjacent, boom, carve it maybe, maybe pull this up, and then I can set the lower wall to something like that. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Lower wall. That seems to be, yeah, like this was designed to be a lower wall piece for certain. Um, save that. Oh, excuse me one moment. Let me see. Pertup Gap says, Joshua, I was wondering if it's possible to add hit reg long range weapons in Delver's engine. What do you mean hit reg? Like hit scan? Um, can you clarify? Yeah, yeah, Chris, that might not be that might not be a bad idea. It also might just it might just be worth it just to have a like just by with no args it just launches like a 5 minute timer. So that we don't always have to specify. Um, but I was thinking since we have let me save this. I think since we have we created this off version here, we should also probably create an off version of this one. And should be pretty straightforward. Just something like Cool. So I mean, so the bow is technically hit scan. Because we do a like the bow is a projectile that goes from point to point, and we do a hit scan between points. So effectively, if you turn the range up high enough, it becomes hit scan. The lightning wand is also hit scan. Um, yeah, the lightning wand also penetrates enemies as well. So let me copy over that. And this makes me wonder. Okay, so a couple things. Like we now ought to be able to do something like, not here, let's open up VS Code. This should pull up our project. And this is out of our repo. And we have in our data, we have entities.dat. And then here we have our floor lamps, flickering floor lamp. So what we can do, so what I want to do is have a, this is going to go through, copy this. We'll have a, say, broken floor lamp. And the only difference is there's no light. It's just, it is a sprite, example sprites. Its text should be 1. I think that's all I need to do there. Pretty sure. So let's save that and make sure that that is doing what I think it's doing. So we need to go to dungeon floor, data, and copy over the entities that we updated. Copy. Yep. And then let's relaunch the editor. Yeah. So for Delver, we use axis-oriented bounding boxes. So we can't really do like a really long projectile. Projectiles, they have to be rectilinear, aligned with a given axis, and that just wouldn't work for some of the things you can do with the lightning wand. Okay, so I should be able to now right-click, place entity, example meshes, and then broken lamp. That should place a lamp that just don't do nothing. But now, what I can do is do a couple things. So I'm going to copy that, paste that. And this will be so floor lamp on, floor lamp off. Then up here for floor lamp, this will no longer be a group. It will be something else. Let me look at the Delver, how Delver defines it, because I'm pretty sure I'll mess it up if I don't. Assets, data, entities, and then yep, so that's how I do it here. So I need to copy this. And then for floor lamp will be a prefab. And what it will choose from is either floor lamp on or floor lamp off. So right now, there's a 50-50 shot, and I don't really want 50-50. So I just, unfortunately, the way I've been doing it is just copy and pasting. So there's a 33% chance. There is a 25% chance. And let me just save it there and see, make sure that works. So I just need to copy over entities. Yup. And then let's launch delve edit. Okay, is it broken? Yeah, it looks like I broke it. Okay, so this is floor lamp. Okay. So let me see what the right click menu says. Entity, example meshes, there's floor lamp on. And there's meshes, floor lamp off. Those are fine. Did I goof up how it's defined? Maybe? Oh man, it might, oh, that might be it. I think we might not be stripping the leading and trailing white space, which would stink if that's the case. The category is wrong. Yup, that is also a good catch. Sample meshes. I didn't mean to close that. I meant to keep that open, but to close that. And thank you for the catch. I appreciate that. A copy and paste issue. All right, so mods, levels, test level, load. Okay, so that looks better. So play. Okay. Yep, so sometimes they are there, sometimes they are not. I think 25% chance seems okay-ish. Again, something to fiddle with. And one again, like this is nothing really to like really try to worry about a really precise control on. Just try to ballpark it. Maybe, maybe one in, who knows, maybe 1 in 5 chance is better, right? I don't know. I really won't have a good feel for it until I see them placed together actually in a generated level, and it also depends on how many of these things I end up using. Cool. So we're almost out of time. We have about 10 minutes left. So if you have any questions you are dying to ask about pretty much anything, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'll keep tooling around here. I've also been considering if folks are interested, I think that once I get this example dungeon set put together, I think it would really be cool to have a stream where we, the community, make a bunch of pieces for this set. So it would be part a tutorial on how to use Git. So if you'd like to learn how to use Git source control, I think that'd be a cool way to do that. And also, if you want to um, kind of get your hands on these assets and make levels for it as an example for the rest of the community, I think they'd be also a cool opportunity. So if you folks would be interested in kind of working with me on a stream, building out levels for this, let me know. I just had that thought the other day and I thought it might be cool. Yeah, so this is always a flickering one, but if I did something like place entity, example meshes, flickering floor lamp, like I can, if I ungroup that, like I think I can, like, like, I know I can add an entity, I can add a torch, and with torch I can, with torch I can't pick the, I don't think I can pick the texture sheet actually. Dang it. Can I add it? Is there an animated sprite? Place entity, um, basic animated sprite. There certainly is. So text, example sprites, this one. Um, that's kind of a cool effect using, we already have an on one and off one. We cranked up the speed, lowered the speed. Yeah, that might be a cheap way to get like a some sort of like warning or caution thing. You notice that I intentionally did not add this dynamic light to this prefab, and that's because I want to have good control on the number of dynamic lights we use because they are a perf issue. If you add too many of them, here let me show you what happens. So prefab, example meshes, flickering floor lamp. Let's just go crazy, right? So you should notice that these things actually come on, like they turn off and on depending upon how close you are to them. So like the ones in the back are obviously off, and as you get close to them, they should just pop on, which in this case looks kind of okay since they're flickering anyways, but like if it's not necessarily flickering, it looks strange. So that's why I've not intentionally not included it in the um, uh, that prefab that randomly selects them. Let me open this up again. I think this was some pretty good progress today. We have oh crap, sometimes on my keyboard my Alt key gets stuck, and I'm not sure why. So it looks like Chris thinks that's a cool idea. So there's one vote for. I think I'll try it out. This will probably be a future one, maybe a few streams in the future. But yeah, it could be. I think it could be cool, especially because I do have developers in my stream that can help out folks who are struggling, and I think it would be a good learning opportunity if you wanted to learn Git source control. Yeah, no, the lights are cool. Um, Having these lights kind of randomly be on or off is cool. Yeah. Let me see. Just about out of time. I guess I can just play some stock Delver on the way out. I think that would be a fine thing to do. I can't remember if I think my mod might actually goof this up, so let me. Yeah. I think I need to remove my mod. Okay, I can do that. Now, before I forget though, I think the one thing I need to do is go here to the levels, because I've been working at it on this one, and then, so, yeah, the timestamp, just let me copy this back out that way, so I don't lose my progress. And then just delete my mods directory. Cool. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Like radioactive goo could be cool. Like that's certainly like a definitely a sci-fi trope. Um, let me just bounce down to the ruins because that'll probably finish me off pretty quick. Um, Here we go. So I shouldn't survive long here, but that's all right. Let's see. I think there should be something tucked away over here. Bread. Just what I needed. I think I can just drop over here. Cool. Okay. Ah! Okay. I gotta try to kite him as best I can. Nope. Should have used my wand. Let's try that again. I have another few moments. Yeah, and please excuse some of the misaligned HUD elements. They should be fixed on this build. Wait, or is this still the? This isn't the Loke stuff. I'm better than this. I can do this. Okay. Ooh. Wizard skullcap. Sweet. And actually, that gives me 9 extra shots with the repeating wand, which is pretty cool. There's always, this cheese tucked back there. I'm not gonna jump for it. Crap, here they come. They are really taking a beating, aren't they? Health. One gold piece for all my effort, and a scroll of teleport. And I'm out. Okay, this again might be a very short run if I'm not careful. Oh, he's running. Get him. I can get him. Oh goodness. Okay, there's an enemy totem, which shouldn't be happening, but. Okay, that was not great. So let me try that again. Let me switch to here and then see if that got him. Nope. Oh man. Okay, well. There's a mace over there too I want. Can I straight. Grab it, run. Oh no! I can get out, I got this. Okay, 4. Oh, oh man. Oh, yeah. First level characters are not cut out for the ruins. Yeah. Oh, I should have teleported too. I did have a way out. Oh goodness. I panicked. I fell in the lava and panicked. Ah. So yeah, Chris is laughing at me. He should. I failed miserably. Uh, Ned Bolter says Delver looks awesome. You get really like digital crawlers. Yeah, thank you. That would. I mean, I try to make. So I'm the art guy. If you folks don't know that, I guess I'll do my little outro. So hi, bye. I'm Joshua. Um, I've been working on my game Delver today. I'm the art guy for Delver. I do all the 2D, 3D art. I do some level design. If you watched all the stream today, you also notice I do a little bit of programming, but that's only really on things I think we should have. I'm passionate about. So this update, I am pushing for Loke support. So we'll have language pack support. By the time this update lands, we're looking at a March release for this update, just because I'm trying to be a little bit more conservative with my project planning, like release estimation timing. So hopefully we can land on a March release for this update, which will contain Steam Workshop support. So modders can actually have their mods on the workshop, which will be amazing. Also, we have language pack support, which will be part of the mod support. Also, I'm putting together some example mods. So if you want to know the right way to do things or I guess the best practices, you can look at my mods. Let me go ahead, since I'm talking about that, let me just give you a link uh, to that. So that'd probably be useful rather than me just saying it's out there. So it's github.com/Joshua Skelly /Delver-example-mods. That's right now it has just an example, what I call a character pack, which is just a bunch of items that are defined. It basically, in a Dark Souls kind of way, just leaves a bunch of leaves items that were for a character, and it kind of tells a little bit of a story. There's some more work I want to do with that, but right now that should be a good example of how to make items. Um, let me think. Also, we have a Twitter. You can go to if you follow @DelverGame. That is uh, that is our official Twitter account. If you are a Twitter person, if you are a Facebook person, I created a Facebook page now. The Facebook following is still pretty small, so if you can give us a follow, that would be rad. If not, no pressure. I think eventually, once the workshop support is up in later here in like a month or so, I'd like to start sharing out people's mods on that. So that would be a cool way to do that. I think that's it. Thank you again for supporting me financially if you bought in the game. Thank you also for hanging out with me on my stream. I appreciate the encouragement and the suggestions and the feedback. It helps make the game a better game. I think that's it. Folks, have a good rest of your day, and I will see you probably Wednesday. I think I'll do a bonus stream on Wednesday. So I'll see you in a few days. Bye.